Welcome to the Aftershow. It is not Christmas yet. It is Colm Hayes, Justin Caffrey, myself, Rebecca, or Bex, or
Rebecca Horan,
John,
award-winning
or
producer.
Whatever you want to call me. Yes,
Jaws.
absolutely. Jaws. We've just been speaking about my this is not going to be a social clip, but my pronounced jaw and where it gets me in
How
life.
do you pronounce it?
Stop.
Jaw.
From
South
jaw.
Dublin.
Yeah. So you have a Protestant jaw.
I think it's Roman. Like it's very, and I got a butt chin. Remember John
Protestant
Travolta had a butt chin. If you put, you've got a butt chin. If you put your finger in there, that's a butt chin.
Okay.
Have you got a butt chin? I don't
See
know.
anything in there? It's going to be a mouse in
Do
there.
you need to plug? Do you need to check?
If you're not watching on video, we're talking about Justin's hirsute face. At
I
the
actually
moment.
want to say something before we get into the show on
Okay.
Thursday. The purple shampoo thing isn't correct for women, so it works for you guys, and you are looking very foxy. But for women, it can make your hair very dark. It has the reverse impact.
The first time I wore purple shampoo, I went to a funeral.
Oh,
And it was the very first time I wore it. And I had this guy cut my hair, and he was a very camp hairdresser, and he was super, and he was at my hair, and he's going, it's lovely. But he goes, copper tint. It should go. It should go. And I was like, well, how does it go?
what does that
I
mean?
was like, exactly. I said to him, what does that mean? It was like one of those moments when you're with a hairdresser where they say things, and you go away thinking, there's obviously some kind of secret that I don't know about.
Yeah.
So in the midst of all that, he blurted something out, which was purple shampoo. And I came home and I said to Beatrice, you know, this guy says, and she went, yeah, purple shampoo, go to Boots. So I go to Boots, go in, I find this purple shampoo, and this woman hands it to me. And it was almost like a moment where she was like handing to me going, and now you have figured out
Started
path,
the rest of your life.
right? This is the way forward.
Yes.
So I think, great, go home, put it on, and it says like, don't leave it in for like more than 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Right? So I get into the shower, I put it on, and as I was in the shower, my phone rang, and it was a call that I was supposed to take. So I hopped out of the shower, took the phone call, and started walking around the living room talking to somebody for I don't know how long. It could have been 10 minutes. Got back in the shower, showered, went to this funeral, right? Massive funeral
Okay.
in Dorky, and there was hundreds and hundreds of people there.
And you have purple hair.
Went up through the church, just past McDonald's, thought people had a strange look in their face. Came home that night, walked into the kitchen, and Beatrice looked at me and she went, what the fuck happened to your hair? And I said, what do you mean?
Not look in the mirror
Did it
before
stay
you left
purple?
And my
No,
hair
it
was
does.
purple.
It goes
My
full-blown
hair
purple.
was purple.
Did nobody during the funeral? Didn't even hear
No,
a
because I
little
thought he was
whisper.
having an episode. They're like, he's going through a revival. He's having a midlife
I think
crisis.
people probably
Yeah.
thought I'm
If
having
I-
some
if
kind
I
of
was
like,
there, I
you know,
would be
punk
sitting somewhere.
rocker.
No, maybe they thought he was having a moment.
I'd be in a pew somewhere and I'd be just going, I love you. You love
Oh, I didn't get that for a second. I didn't
Barney.
know what you were doing there for a sec. I was
Barney.
like, are we having a...
I remember having purple legs.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
Playing basketball, went down to Craig Namana. I was a young fella. I was one of the youngest in the team. There was girls there. There was other girls from Kilkenny that I sort of fancied, thought this was great. I just got a pair of jeans 2 days before. We got out onto the pitch. It was lashing rain. I had my...
What are you doing?
I had my nicks under. I had my basketball
you
nicks
doing?
on under my jeans because we know where to change.
Nice.
So you would have all that right. But because I realised that they were cheap jeans and it rained so much, the dye went through, right? And I tucked down my trousers to go out on the court, thinking this is going to. Once they see me dunk, it'll be so cool. And I looked down and
Oh
I
my
had
God.
two purple
It's
legs.
like nothing cool.
I had two completely streaked purple legs, and I could do nothing about it.
And what did you say to people?
I couldn't say anything.
like
It
you've had
looked
a-
like I had bad blood. Do you know what I mean? Bad flow. It looked like bad flow.
I feel like you've had a lot of fashion faux pas though since I've met you, and I don't want to get into it now because it's personal, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your therapist called Jerry?
Jerry? Yeah.
Are we allowed to say
That's
his
probably
name?
a topic for him then, really.
My purple
The
legs.
trauma of my purple leg
Yeah.
moment.
It was
No,
like-
I remember so much. I stayed up all night talking to this girl then and I was trying to dry out my purple legs, and she was American, and I thought I'll sit beside her on the bus the next day, and I was only young and I'd had 2 pints and I'd never drank before, and I was so tired I fell asleep and I drooled on her shoulder, and she flew back to the States and I never saw her again. This is about regret.
What is happening? No, it's not. It was about boots, and I don't know how we got onto that.
Go ahead.
No, I actually, I actually during COVID did a similar thing to you where I left it on way too long. That's why I was saying it has a reverse. And my hair was like a black colour. So I spent all this money getting highlights, thought I was going to jazz it up. And I literally, everyone was like, oh, you're going dark. That's hot for you. I was like, I'm not going dark. I put purple shampoo in. So you got to be careful with your purple shampoo.
You got to be careful. If you learn anything from
would
this.
you use it on your pubes?
Jesus.
I didn't even know there was a thing called purple shampoo.
Oh my God, Terry.
What is
Purple
this?
pubes.
Purple
Terry.
pubes.
Terry, you don't have enough grey hair yet to worry about it.
I
But your
think,
hair starts to go coppery when you get grey hair. That's the problem.
Does it?
Yeah.
Copper.
Yeah.
Copper.
Coppery does. Right?
Does that mean like it's like
Like copper hair.
feels like weird texture off it?
Can we take apart something really deep here?
I also think
Why do
purple-
some men have red beards and then black hair? What is the jazz with the two-tone?
I used to have a red beard. I'd have
What
about
is that?
30% red in my beard. That's why I couldn't grow a beard. I wanted a beard when I was in my 30s. But
Mm.
my hair was too dark. So I looked like just odd.
Do you know what I mean? What is that about that?
I think it's
very
just
Irish, is it?
interbred. Yeah, I think it's just.
I think we are interbred.
I think
Well,
it's the
I
tribe.
you said gingerbread.
Ooh, you're gingerbread.
I want to take a bite out of you.
We're interbred, not gingerbread.
Everyone always
Or
said
we're
to me,
interbred with a
eat
gingerbread
out of a
man.
different trough. And I never really got it. Like my friends in school would be like, get out of this trough. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, the piglets in this trough, like they're all the same in interbred. You need to go to a different trough. So I went to Africa.
Wow.
get a new trough.
Well, I troughed up to Belfast. Well, Anne was from
Similar
Belfast.
trough though.
Not really similar, but like a lot of my mates, right? You know, they married and are still married. Bless them to
Bless them.
to girls within one postal district.
Lovely.
I always said I was going to go to a different country, and I sort of did because she was born in the north and came back down. You went Germany, you went South Africa. Terry, where'd you go?
Harry.
Well, I had old school Irish parents and they were so racist. They'd always say, if you ever bring a black girl into this house.
Oh my God.
It was dreadful. So I dated as many nationalities as I could as possible.
Well done, Terry.
No problem.
Which was your favorite nationality?
Asian.
That's the continent. Can we get it down a little bit more?
I dated actually probably French dancer.
Yeah, but you have a story about a French girl. We're not going to do it now. And it's upsetting for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was upsetting for her. Not for me.
I mean, I don't
lockjaw can be a terrible thing.
I don't think Catholic guys can date me because I'd be so provocative to their parents. I could be so off-putting. I've never had a Catholic partnership.
I've never had a Catholic partnership either after I was
That's
18.
because
I did.
we know about your sexual needs. You've spoken about this.
Yeah.
I only date Protestants.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I dated one Hindu, but it didn't work out well.
you did?
Yeah.
Where is she?
I don't know. No, I didn't. I just thought I'd throw that in.
Like,
So as this is an after show,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, what are we doing?
What are we talking about?
I wanted to. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to talk about the fact that you went to the Bruce Springsteen. What's it called?
the pathway to
Deliver
nowhere.
me from nowhere.
I thought
me
it was
from
on
nowhere.
Netflix. No, it's in the movies.
No,
in the
it's
movies.
Okay, so I just lol at you two. Justin had an epiphany, and it's not funny because it's actually just like, wow, I didn't realize that decade of my life I was quite depressed. You were quite emotional in the movie. You came home. I found it so like you couldn't really speak because you had to work through that. Then you were like, Colin was like, I just kept thinking about the bear. And I was set, like, I liked how it was shot, but like, because I studied theatre and movies and but I'm like, God, it's two totally different takes on the film. And I guess you went at it in a cinema, like what you expected from it. And Justin went at it like a male mental health, 81, getting assistance. And I found that so deeply profound. And there's been moments in my life, but more experience than movies. But you said one thing. I wanted to pick up on this. Justin said something and I was like, did he mean that or was that a mistake? You said, if it's easy,
Don't do it. You don't need to.
which freaks me out.
Said if
If
it's hard,
something
lean
is
into it.
easy, but do you mean safe, secure, boring, tedious, monotonous, just life? But you were saying if it's hard, you should be leaning into that. Do you mean emotional welfare? Do you mean challenge it? Like, what do you mean?
I mean everything, because I think what I loved about the movie was that he was so willing to be in his pain and just go deeper and deeper and deeper. And last night I kind of went into the cave. I went into the cave when I came home. I put on the music. I put on my headphones. I listened to the music that was really going to move me emotionally because I wanted to go deeper and deeper. I wanted to go back to that child when I was 6, 7, 8. Find it. And I think so in a therapeutic level or an artistic level or at a business level or at all the things that you were
But not
worried about in your
romantically,
life.
right?
Go after the stuff you're worried about. Go after it.
But you shouldn't stay romantically with someone if it's hard, right?
Oh, I don't mean.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean stay
Like
with
chase
hardship.
the toxic guy with the lockjaw.
In that scenario, the hardship is you got to leave the relationship. You got to take the brave, hard, tough decisions. I think you have one life. This is your opportunity. Nobody's coming to save you. This script is written by you, directed by you, produced by you, and you are the lead actor. Unless you get your shit together, your movie is going to be a flop.
It is, with no good reviews. Someone could come and save you though, but it's usually someone creepy.
Do
you agree with him on that easy hard thing?
Absolutely. I think, over the years that I've gone through some bad shit and really definitely depression. There's absolutely no doubt about it. That there are people, and it was amazing that Anne did an amazing thing when I was going through it. She let me be depressed.
What?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. She told me she'd give me 2 weeks to be depressed. And she let me be depressed. And I was literally upstairs. And I'd come down and I wouldn't have shaved for about 5 days. Seriously. And I could have opened up a bottle of wine at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and sat in front of the TV watching whatever and then go to bed at 7 o'clock. She literally gave me 2 weeks and then went, right, that's it now.
Wow.
Now we gotta, you've done it. You've done whatever you've done. You're a pain in the hole. You're a mess. You're so self-obsessed. I'm sure you wallowed in your own misery there now and enjoyed it. So now it's time to because you've got 2 kids.
That's quite incredible.
You've got it. You've got me, and you've got a life to live. So now let's do it. So it's a weird thing, but because I got out of that, I sort of did miss the 2 weeks of wallowing around because I really did find myself then.
What did you find?
I found awful shit. No, I just think I realized that, I'm not going to be who I thought I was going to be.
What?
And
Stop.
that no, but seriously, I thought I'm not going to be the person I thought I was going to be, and I'm not
Isn't
going
that
to.
heartbreaking?
I'm not going to achieve the things I set myself up for, and it's not that I set the bar too high. It's just I'm not on a trajectory to get to that place. That's what I was saying about regretting everything and regretting nothing. And that trajectory for me was always to try and get into screenwriting and writing movies. But at that stage, which was 10, 12 years ago, I wasn't at those steps weren't available to me. Now, they probably could have been, but what I would have had to give up to do that, I had to make the balance. And I thought, no, you're right. I've got to, because I probably would have had to give up my marriage. I probably would have headed off. The kids were like teenagers then. Probably would have been something complete. And it was probably a bit of a pipe dream.
Justin saying you're writing your own film and you're writing your own thing and this is your one.
I wanted to write
life.
somebody else's film.
Yeah, but sure. But like, did you give up? Like, did you, I'm not saying settling in your marriage and your kids, but I'm saying, did you get a little bit, took it for granted? I mean, could you not?
No, I think I realized that I think I realized that no matter what I'm ever going to do, I'm never going to be happy. So I think I had to get to a stage.
What?
Seriously, yeah. So I think I had to get to a stage where I'm okay with it. I'm okay with
not
it.
being happy.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. No, I am.
So if you got the dream job,
I
if
am
you
happy.
left the marriage and got someone else.
No, there are great moments of happiness in my life, and there have been. But I don't think I'm ever going to. I think I could have gone somewhere else, and gone down a different road and been happier, or not.
But happy is a verb.
Yeah.
So it's an active place. I think the space that we try to get into is just contentment, right? And I think everybody has a dream of how they want their life to be. And a small percentage of people may get somewhere close to it. And again, go back to that Springsteen movie, the beauty of that movie and why I think it's so beautiful for men especially to see, but not also for just for men, for women too, and cats, is that the idea that he is at the top of his game, right? He's not a global icon at this moment, but he's a US icon, right? And in his hometown, like let's be fair, people want to be famous in their hometown generally, right? Yeah. So they show that really well.
Yeah.
But he is not able to find happiness because he has to come to terms with who he is. And I think at all points, the journey of being human is to try and meet yourself over and over again and to explore it and understand who you are a bit better. And why I cried in the cinema last night was because I thought, holy shit, here's another moment. Here's a moment where I get to figure out another little piece of a jigsaw puzzle, and I get to understand the mechanics of who I am a little bit better. And that just helps me be better today. So today I went out for a walk and I thought, I feel a bit lighter. And that's all.
Well, you would do if you had a massive epiphany. What did, like, he's
Did
telling
you
me.
cry out loud?
Yes.
Was there other people in the cinema?
I was wailing.
Okay.
That's hot.
Could get us a few viewers and
That
listen.
could, yeah, like,
That's
could
your
you not
man from
have
Not So
selfies?
Christian.
Could you not have TikTok
Wailing.
Live? What the
No,
hell?
no,
You're
but
not
I
thinking
think-
about the fucking podcast?
I think one of
Ever.
the things you said there, and I think you were saying about the movie, I was talking about Scorsese, and it's really interesting that here's a man so successful, Scorsese. You would imagine, right? But he had a few bummers, and like 2 bummers in Hollywood, and you're out, you know. And he had a couple of bummers before he got back in with Casino
Stop
and
saying
Goodfellas.
bummer.
Oh, right, okay. So these films really
A lot
bummed.
of bummers.
These films bummed out. So in Hollywood, we call them bummers. So anyway,
Jesus Christ.
but what I
A
thought.
lot of homoerotic like stuff this week.
It's
Stuck
only what
inside
you read
bears.
into it, love. You know, and with that jaw, you could read into anything. So, can I finish? Now you've dropped your water and your pillow. So I think what he found was what he really did is when something
What are you doing?
bombed,
Yeah.
when a movie bombed. He didn't go straight back to trying to be the biggest, best director in the entire world. You know, he took small steps to, okay, that didn't work. That's okay. I'm not going to get too upset about it. He did earlier on in his life when he nearly killed himself with cocaine. But he realized later, that was his Nebraska moment, that he realized, that's okay. I'm still Martin Scorsese. I've still got life in me. I've still got stuff I can do. I've still got friends. We'll just go somewhere else for another movie. What I'm saying is, I realized now that I shouldn't. I was always looking too high up, you know, at the top of the stairs. Now I'm just sort of looking at the next step, but it has to be a step upwards, you know. But you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean.
And that's, I think, I'm doing the hand again.
How
aren't
did you not know you were depressed in your 20s?
I wasn't going to say anything, but it's been going on for about 5 minutes.
Sorry, yeah.
How did
No,
you
it's
not know
that
you were
hand.
depressed?
Good.
You just thought you were busy and stressed and unhappy, but you didn't know you're depressed.
Yeah.
How did you not know?
It's so weird to kind of reflect back on it because, and as I did last night. So when I watched him, I thought, oh yeah, you know, that kind of like morose, you know, dark, dour, moody, you know, tough kind of moody male energy. I thought that was just me not dealing with my mental health. And I think we can dress it up to be so many other things. And I think for men, it's really hard to understand sometimes that you're struggling. And I didn't. So when I mentioned that, you know, I'd go back to Ireland and fight with him, I reflected on this last night when I went into that cave and listened to music. I wanted to know, why did I fight with him? What was it, right? And I realized that was me, the child who was trying to say, why did everybody leave me there with my parents, right? No, and that doesn't require an answer, okay? It's not something that I'm contemplating on.
No, I understand that. I'm just,
but
the one word that's come to mind is rage.
But the problem, I think, for men is that the only way this plays out is through anger.
Ugh.
And that becomes, you know, at times violence.
Mm-hmm.
But I said to Beatrice this morning, you know, my early relationships, like people who were in relationships with me in my 20s, I feel so sorry for them.
Oh, God.
Not because I was violent,
No,
right?
but just they weren't good.
Just imagine. Edit that out.
yeah.
Could we get them on?
Oh,
We could
God.
do a series. What was that great movie where he goes, High Fidelity?
Oh, my God. That'd be hot.
But I
Do a series of all
I
your
feel
girlfriends.
that I feel really sad for other people because I was so emotionally unavailable because I didn't really know why I was angry at you. I didn't really know why I didn't want to go out on Saturday night. And I presented a different way. And I said, another thing I said to Beatrice this morning when we talked about this was, I said, you know, at a couple of moments in my 20s when people would come to, when a woman would go to move in with me, the depth of my fear, like the really dark parts of my fear was, what if somebody sees me for who I really am?
That's why a lot of
The mask slips.
But that's why a lot of men, right, that are actually in love. So I'm not talking about men who just use women for transactional, but men that are actually in love push the relationship away and are toxic and doing all of that because they are so scared of being seen, caught out, the reality of it all, or that the woman going, fuck it, actually, no, I'm good for this. And I've heard a lot of that recently in relationships. But actually, just to finish off, I wanted to say, you also said to me, which is kind of mind-blowing for you and I, that depression isn't hereditary. And I was always taught the odd bits of therapy and friendships and learning from other people, like, you know what, if your dad has it, your mom, you're going to have it. And you're like, no, Rebecca. So what were you saying about that? Like that it's environment or it's to do with your learnings at home?
So predominantly a lot of how we cope in life is learned experience, right? And we learn from our parents, we learn from people around us. And if we grow up with a parent who is depressed or anxious or stressed, then you build those behaviors in. So we know at a genetic level, we haven't identified a gene. There is threads of, you know, bipolar and schizophrenia that are believed that there might be some semblance of genetic transfer. But in predominant behaviors, mental health is learned experience. So, but you know what the best thing is? Everything that's learned can be unlearned.
Well,
and that's why we have an opportunity to heal. And I think it's hard, right? Because, you know, I have to take responsibility for, you know, I my son was 8 or 9 by the time I started to figure some of my shit out. And even if I was the best parent in the world, our kids will still have their own challenges to meet. But I think as parents, as humans, the best example that we can show to other people is to be vulnerable, to go, I fuck up, I make mistakes, I'm not good at this being human, but I'm willing to just try and be better.
I think if anything in the last couple of years, and why we have this conversation and men are starting to have this conversation about mental health, it is that we are actually just saying, look, I'm vulnerable, I'm weak, I make mistakes. This hard-assed man, you know, that came in from work, I worked all the hours, give me my dinner, I'm gone to the pub. He went down to the pub because of his mental health. But we're actually now really openly talking about it. Women were always great at talking about it. I always believe that women talk about it much better, right? And if I'm talking about mental health, I will speak to my female friends in a greater capacity because I think they understand a lot more than my male friends. But I think a couple of my male friends do get it now, and I think men are opening up, and I think it's brilliant that they're opening up. You know, that we are vulnerable. We're human beings. We're totally vulnerable. You know, and I think we're filled with mistakes. I mean, he's covered in them.
Well, also on next week's show, his 3 ex-girlfriends are going to be on the couch with me, so that'll be.
Oh, well, 3 ex-girlfriends.
And their jaws are teeny tiny, so we'll all fit here.
Yeah.
Small jaws.
and plus my therapist said, if you don't know what the reason is, it's your mother.
Oh.
Yeah. Got Woody Allen in
Great,
the corner,
thanks
everybody.
a million. I'm a mother, so is that what's going to happen to me?
Can I just say to you on that point,
Yeah.
in every conversation that I've had in 10 years with clients, I was going to say 99%, 100% of the time it ends up with parents, right? But don't blame your parents. You still have to take responsibility to figure it out. Your parents were only trying to do their best with the tools that they had. And if we think about our parents,
Or they were tools.
Are their parents?
their parents, you know, the trauma goes on and on and on and on in
Yeah,
terms
yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
you know, alcohol, violence, sexual abuse, whatever it is.
And they've learned from their parents.
Exactly. And at
It's-
some point,
yeah.
somebody has to go and
Break the cycle. Yeah,
put the brake on
Yeah.
and change direction.
100%.
The after show, get involved, like, subscribe. Please share it. If you like the episode, don't just go, oh, it's nice and keep it yourself. Don't be selfish. Share the episode.
Please do.
And get involved in the after show. Okay, we'll be back on Thursday with a brand new Not So Christian Brothers.
Oh, and we are brothers. He's Justin Caffrey.
I'm not a sister. I am not a sister.
And I'm
My
Colm
jaw is
Hayes.
so
Yeah,
much
he's
more
Justin
chisel.
Caffrey and he's Colm Hayes. And we could adopt you. No.
I just think it's expensive, right?
Adoption.
Thank you.